Hi, my name's Free and I'd like to share with you a little bit of information about this incredible healing food of hemp. Now, hemp is the English derivation of the Latin word cannabis, an incredibly versatile plant which has served humanity for thousands and thousands of years, providing for our most essential of needs as a food, as a fibre from the stems of the plant. All the clothes that I'm wearing are made from hemp. It can also be used for building materials, even plastics can be made from hemp. It's also a source of fuel. Hemp is the largest provider of biomass, which can be distilled into ethanol. Hemp seed oil can also be used to run diesel engines, and let thy food be thy medicine, and then medicine be thy food. The flowers of cannabis, hemp, have many incredible healing benefits, which I'm going to share with you now. What I'm going to start with, though, is the seed. More botanically accurate, it's actually achene, a small dried nut. Now, within hemp seeds, you find a perfect balance of all the key essential nutrients that our body needs. That's a perfect balance of fats, the omega-3 and omega-6 in a perfect 1:3 ratio. Also, it contains omega-9, gamma-linoleic acid, a powerful hormonal balancer and anti-inflammatory. It also contains 22 amino acids, including the 8 essential amino acids. And these amino acids are building blocks of protein. And the thing about hemp protein, it's very high in what's called globular edestine, coming from edestos, meaning digestible. It basically is the most easy to digest form of protein that there is. Unlike meat and dairy and even some nuts are quite difficult to digest. And the thing about meat and dairy protein, often they're cooked and the proteins coagulate and become very difficult to digest. So hemp, it is hyperallergenic. Most people can consume hemp seeds without a problem. So you've got the fats, the proteins, you've got all the fat-soluble vitamins, and practically every mineral that our bodies need is found within hemp seed. Now, hemp seeds are great, but they're providing you with those macronutrients, fats, proteins, vitamins and minerals. It's in the leaves and the flowers of the plant where we find these most essential of nutrients called phytocannabinoids. Now, in 1991 it was discovered that we have an endocannabinoid receptor system. The endocannabinoid receptor system has been around for thousands and thousands of years, from the first vertebrate, because every vertebrate, every living creature with a backbone has an endocannabinoid receptor system. Within the human body, it is the most it regulates all the primary functions of the human body. This is why physicians such as Dr. Courtney are describing cannabis as a dietary essential. For, as he puts it, it's the only food group which allows for the healthy cellular functioning of all 210 cell types. It also allows for biofeedback from post to presynaptic nerve, so the body can actually start talking back to itself, and we have the ability to enter into homeostasis. So, what is it that's so unique about this plant then? Is cannabis's ability to create phytocannabinoids. It all starts with this thing called, a phytocannabinoid called cannabidiolic acid, from which we then have THC, CBD, tetrahydrocannabinolic acid, cannabidiolic acid, and I can't remember all the names of them. There's 114 different phytocannabinoids which have now been identified, and they have incredible healing powers upon the body, not only allowing for this healthy cellular functioning, proper neurocommunication, but they are also powerful antioxidants, eliminating cancer from the body. They're very powerful analgesics, relieving pain. They're very powerful antispasmodics, helping people with multiple sclerosis. They're antifungal, antimicrobial. They also are antiemetics, reducing nausea. Now, the thing is, many people associate cannabis, with getting high. Now, what is it that gets you high is what's called a tetrahydrocannabinol. In the fresh plant here, if I was to juice this plant fresh, it would not give me a psychoactive effect. Now, the plants here are only just beginning to flower. This is one of my favourite strains. Affectionately, I call it the Mendip Muse. It's seeds which were brought back from India over 40 years ago and have just been selectively inbred for 40 years. It's a pure landrace genetic. That's what I love about this plant. When I say that cannabis is a dietary essential, I'm talking about pure natural cannabis grown naturally in the earth. Because as Dr. Reynolds, Queen Victoria's personal physician, so rightly put it, when pure and administered carefully, cannabis is one of the most valuable medicines we possess. So it's that point, it's the purity grown naturally in the earth and method of administration, consumed naturally as a whole food or made into some form of natural extract. I'm not talking about what I call mutant crackweed, cannabis which has been massively hybridized for very high THC levels, very low CBD levels, which I'm going to explain more about in a moment, to create something which is highly psychoactive. Then from these hybridized plants, they're cloned, put into rock wall cubes, grown under artificial lights in factories where they're being fed with chemicals which aren't flushed out of it, and it creates this as I call it, mutant crackweed, often grown by mafiosi like Vietnamese mafia, who are then using child slave labour to grow this plant, which becomes totally psychotic. So is it any wonder then that people have psychosis and other problems with smoking this so mutated plant? What I am here to promote and inspire, I hope, is for people to get the understanding that this plant is best consumed optimal raw. Juice it, eat it. If you eat it, chew it thoroughly. It's very fibrous. It's easy to choke on the leaf if you don't chew it thoroughly. That's why juicing it is great. Now if you dry it, what happens is the cannabinoids in their acid form, tetrahydrocannabinic acid, cannabidiolic acid, all of these are in their acid form. They are in their highest vibration in their acid form. If you dry it, then they decarboxylate. That's where the word drug comes from. It literally means to dry, droga, a dryer of herbs. So when this plant comes to maturity, I will dry the buds, because I like to get high off cannabis, and I will juice the leaves. I only have like 15, 20 plants growing around me. For my own personal needs, I really want to be having at least 100 cannabis plants growing. I haven't got that space yet. I wish to manifest that. I wish to be living in a world where cannabis is grown freely, because this plant is so healing. Now, THC, CBD, I've mentioned a little bit about how powerful these cannabinoids are. The difference between them, primarily, THC in its decarboxylated form, highly psychoactive. I love the experience of getting high. CBD, however, cannabidiol, is an antipsychotic. It balances out the psychoactive effects of the THC. So for medicinal, what we really, I feel, be benefiting us is to have balanced THC to CBD 1-to-1 ratios. However, what many people also experience the benefits of, this is actually an industrial hemp bud. It will be very low in THC but high in CBD, and it's that high CBD, low THC extracts, like the cannabis oil that I sell in Hemp in Avalon in Glastonbury. It is helping people in incredible ways. It's totally transforming people's lives. I've had 3 people now report back that they've had cancer and they no longer have cancer after using this product. Numerous people who are in chronic pain, unable to sleep, the pain is gone, they're able to sleep, they're leading a normal life again. People with epilepsy who've been having fits are no longer having fits. Kids with ADHD, autism, other so-called social interacting problems are now being able to communicate with the outside world with confidence because their bodies are functioning properly. Cannabis is a dietary essential, so I wish to inspire you to not only eat these seeds, but plant these seeds, throw them out into the gardens, feed the birds, feed the world with hemp. It is the most healing plant on the planet. Thank you for your attention.